Hey Kakosi, this is Kito Dozanovsky with Macedonian Athletics, and this is the Sports Academy. Today we're going to give you a full field analysis, as well as give you guys 2 breakouts thrown on the layout. And if you enjoy this and you're looking for more field analysis and breakouts, I'll be offering them for the remainder of the year on the upcoming layouts, and those will be built specifically for your team guys. And I'm going to have another video with more details on that, but if you're interested, check out the website. Feel free to email me with any questions you guys may have. All details for that will be in the description below. Okay, and before we get started, let's go over the details for this event. This is going to be for Minor League Paintball's first event, the Birmingham Blast. The layout being used is the 2014 PSP Dallas layout. The layout's been out for about a year now, and it's seen quite a few different leagues and been to a number of different events. And we're just going to go over an overview, gameplay overview for it, as well as break it down and give a couple breakouts for it so you guys can have a better opportunity to win these nice prizes that Minor League Paintball offers. Alright guys, let's go over the gameplay overview for this layout. First, let's start with the strongest side, which is the snake side. We're going to go up to the 50 snake and shoot everybody. Yep. Alright, let's go to the D side. Dorito side. You're going to try not to get shot by the 50 snake and go up to the 50 Dorito and try and prolong the game as long as you possibly can and stay alive. Yeah, that pretty much explains the Dorito side. Let's see here. The corners. Dorito corner can watch the tape, and so can snake corner. Snake corner, just trying to keep their 50 snake from wrapping if they get there and your guy dies. Once your guy dies, you got to fill the snake. If you go to the Dorito corner, you're just going to wrap as hard as you can and try and stay alive, and don't let that 50 snake shoot you. And that's about it. The center of the field, though, has been very underutilized, I guess is a good word for it. People aren't playing the center like they should. It's very, 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 very strong. And you can get some quick kills from it. You can lock the sides down, and you can close the games out really fast from that center. Not a lot of teams are playing up into that center, but I'm going to dive into that a little later with more detail. I'll show you guys how to play that center, how to fully utilize it, and how to take advantage of it and win good, easy points because of it. Alright guys, let's break down into these lanes here. Now keep in mind, the layout might not appear exactly the same come tournament time. It's just human error. It's not going to be exactly to the grid, but it's going to be pretty close. So just keep that in mind. But alright, let's get into this. Alright, there's obviously no back center, but a lot of people are going to ghost right here in this back center. There's nice lanes over the Aztec, nice lanes over the pillars from the back center. You can step out to the right here a little bit and shoot that lane over the tall cake and hit that lane before the can on the D side. So there's your main lanes here from the back center. I'm going to say 95% of the time that guy's going to shoot that snake lane though. I mean, unless you got a reason to really shoot that Dorito can, you're not, no point in risking your body in the open like that. Shoot the snake lane. The snake's the more deadly spot than that Dorito can. So if you're going to ghost, shoot the snake lane, pretty much, is what I'm getting at. Next, you're going to have this tower up here in the middle. As you're going up to the tower, you're going to shoot over the Aztec and those pillars, just like you would if you were in the back center, and shoot for that snake lane. You can either shoot for the snake lane or you shoot for the corner, whichever you prefer. Obviously, the snake lane is going to be, more worthwhile just because you don't want them getting to the 50 within a few seconds of the game and shoot your whole team out. So, again, shoot that snake lane going up to the tower. Once you get to the tower, you're going to have to dedicate the entire game to that lane. If you see him going to the snake, just start pounding that 50 snake as pretty much as you can. Because you don't want him to crawl up and then just pop up and shoot you with his first shot. You want to try and prolong your life there and keep him down from killing the rest of your guys until they can get into the Doritos. Let's see here. Oh, my favorite spot. We can talk about the pillar here. Okay, the pillar, probably my favorite spot to shoot a lane from on this break or on this layout. You can go up behind. You can play up off of this a little bit. The tower blocks you out straight up, and the pillar blocks you out D side. And then you got that nice hefty lane again from where you'd be ghosting over the Aztecs and the pillar, right there in front of the snake. And you can also shoot that corner pretty good. Now you can live here pretty much all game until they get into the 50 snake. So if you're hitting that lane and you're shooting their guy out, just keep pounding that lane and don't let them fall into the snake from the Aztec or from the corner. You know, depending on where they're at, talk to your team, you know, make the adjustment accordingly. But you can sit there all game, and I didn't see people doing this enough. Utilize when you have something like that. I mean, it's given to you on the layout, utilize it. Shoot that hefty lane and just stay there all day. You can shoot everything. You can come out, depending on how comfortable you are, you can come out, play a little freely, put some shots up on that Aztec, you know, try and get a hopper or a barrel or something. You can, same with the corners. I mean, you can do a lot from that little pillar. It's really underutilized. I don't think people play it enough. If you're going to the Aztec on the snake side, you're pretty much just going to shoot that, you know, that same lane over the snake, those snake pillars. Try and shoot the snake. You can also pause a little bit before you go in there, if you want, just so your lane's a little more sturdy. But you know, you're going to run that risk too of them shooting back at you. Yeah, that pretty much covers the gist of the lanes. I mean, if you're going to run out to the corner, you're going to run and gun. If you're going to run to the cane, you're going to run and gun, try and shoot back up to the middle, and try and shoot out their ghosters, and that's about it. Everything else is pretty self-explanatory. I guess there's another lane here on this temple side you can do. We ran it a couple times. It's a little more tricky. You got to have someone a little more experienced to go up to that center temple to shoot that corner lane, or to shoot the Dorito right here. This Dorito guy that a lot of people like to go there off the break. You're just going to drop your lane low, shoot for him diving in. If you don't see a guy making a break for that Dorito, you're going to shoot for the corner. You know, just adjust your lane quick enough to shoot the corner guy, and then you're going to play heads up when you get to that temple if you're shooting that way. Shoot over the cake at your mirror if he's there, and then you're going to dip out into that Dorito, because you don't want to stay there. You want to get up into that 50 Dorito if you're doing this. Otherwise, you're going to live, you know, on the other side of that temple, unless you're going to go snake side and dedicate to the snake side the rest of the game. It's a little tricky. That's why I kind of recommend someone who's a little more skilled on your team to do that, then be able to address the situation and make the proper adjustment. But yeah, that pretty much explains the lanes. We're going to dive into the snake. Alright guys, we're on the snake side here, and we're just going to go over how to play the snake side and a little more in depth with it. Obviously, you're going to try and go up to that 50 snake and shoot everybody from that great angle you have right here. And then if they get someone else in the 50 snake, you're just going to take him out. Obviously, try to live if you can. If not, no biggie. Have your teammate fill in behind you. But you want to keep the game going as long as possible. So take him out and keep pushing that snake. Try and take advantage of that. You want to keep filling it and keep taking them out. You don't want them to shoot up your D side and then come down the D side and pinch you guys out. As for how you're going to get into the 50 snake, you can either go there off their break, or go to one of these two inserts here, the Aztec or this mini race, we call it the God, and come up into the snake. Now when you crawl into the snake here, don't make this mistake. Alright, crawl up next to the mini race, and then you want to go directly to the tall cake and then up to the 50. Too many times I see guys play out wide here and they go just nonchalantly up to the 50, and they get shot right in the top of the head or in the pack. Now, let's go over this other view. You can kind of see it a little better. What happens is someone goes in this Aztec here, and they just pound this over the beam. They'll play heads up. They'll see the guy dive into the snake, and then they just immediately start shooting over this beam. And if you don't hug against this mini race here, you're going to get shot in the head or in the pack. It's happened time and time again, and people keep doing it. I don't know, but whatever. So let's see here. This corner, pretty decent. You can shoot, your mirror. You can also shoot across to the D side if you back up off the corner just a tiny bit, and you can shoot that Dorito that's awkward, like an awkward angle on that Dorito. That's not really usually how they are, but you can get him if he's not playing up tight into that, and just like how it's angled, you can usually shoot his head right off. As for that's just one of them shots. You look for it, but you're not gonna sit there all game, right? Your main goal is going to be shooting that snake wire, hoping if your snake guy gets shot out for some reason, they still got a 50 snake. You don't want him wrapping around that 50 and getting everyone else out on your team or coming past the 50. You want to play up and make sure he plays honest, and he has to sit there and do what he can from the inside. And then once you get the opportunity to, you fill in and you go get him out yourself. You don't just wait there and let him pick your team off. But when you dive in, again, make sure you go up to that mini race, because if they got a guy in that Aztec, you're going to get your dome piece, ripped apart. So this mini race here in the snake, don't play this, and don't play that mini race, and don't play the tall cake. Go straight to the 50. I don't know why I've seen too many people come up here to the mini race and they don't accomplish anything. That angle on the tower and the cans are not there from that mini race. You're wasting your time going there when it was just a little bit more of a crawl to go to the 50. And it's a lot safer of a crawl too at that, because you don't have to go across that little gap. So don't go to this little mini race. Just go straight to the 50. As for this Aztec here, you're going to want to shoot that beam, like I said, if you see someone go in there, and then pound that corner. If say you got a guy go into the snake, and you sat here in the blind spot, and then you filled out to the Aztec, pound the corner if they have a corner guy. Shoot over that beam if you see someone jump into the snake. You have a little mini pillar right here, and he kind of blocks out your battle with your mirror, but you can shoot over the pillar, and it's a little blind shot, and some balls do dip down into that Aztec, and they will shoot that other guy in your mirror. So take advantage of that. One nice little trick here on this Aztec on the break. Now you have to scout for this. If your team's not scouting, then I don't know what you're doing at the tournament, because you're missing out on a great opportunity to intel on what your other team's doing. But if you see them going to this pillar, come to this Aztec off the break. Just run straight there. Don't even pull your gun up if you don't want to. If you're not fast at running gunning, just come straight here, run, and just get that guy in the pillar out. You can come, it's a couple steps off of the Aztec here. And again, that pillar blocks you out from your mirror, so you're protected. As long as he is not running there the same pace you are, and shooting for that little spot after the Aztec, which most chances he's not. He's probably going to shoot for the snake lane or up into the middle. So come out here to the Aztec, a couple steps off, and you're going to be able to get a perfect shot onto this pillar if he's back behind the pillar. But you can only get that shot if you're a couple steps off the Aztec. If you're right next to the Aztec, the shot's not there. You have to literally be 2 steps off that Aztec and get that extra little angle around the X and shoot him. But again, it's not there every point. You're not going to do that every point. You have to scout for that. if he's not going to that pillar, don't waste your time doing this, because you're not going to get a kill and you're just wasting your gun. Shoot up the middle as you're going into the Aztec, or shoot for that snake lane. That should be the only spot you're going. Now, I highly recommend going to this Aztec rather than going straight into the snake off the break. You get much more intel playing heads up at this Aztec, and you also get a better chance of shooting their snake guy out. Whereas if you were just to run off the break, your gun's down, you're not getting any paint into the air. Whereas if you go to this Aztec, you're shooting, you have a possibility of shooting their guy that's going into the snake. And if you see he goes straight to the snake, you can just dip right in. You're not really losing pace with him, and you're able to see if he goes or not. So one downfall is when he dives in, even if he's looking downfield, he saw that no one's coming into the 50 with him, and he's going to look for those inside shots right away. Whereas you saw him go in, you know he's going to be there, and you go right to the 50 and you take him out. You're going to get a better reaction time on him than he's going to have a reaction time on you, because he's not going to know you're in there unless he hears a coach from the outside saying it, if the tournament has a coach. I don't know what they're doing for the affiliate leagues now, at least for minor league paintball. But you're still going to get that advantage on him, because you don't have to wait for the coach to tell you. You're going to know he's in that 50. You can shoot him. So you're going to take him out, and then you're going to have all them shots across the D side. So take advantage of that. Don't go into the snake off the break. Go to this Aztec, then go into the snake. And then, you can mix it up too. Some breakouts do go into that snake off the break, or they're just going to, shoot for your Aztec and then just lock it off. But, yeah, most of the time I'd say go to the Aztec. Let's be realistic about it. As for a good operation deal here on the snake side, one to go to the Aztec, the other one goes to the corner. The Aztec's your snake player. He's just going there to read the field and then make that bump into the snake and then shoot people. The tower's gonna spread that gun out wide, and since they're shooting for that snake lane majority of the time, he can get in that corner pretty clean, and then he can get an easy fill into the snake from there. And then he also gets those nice little shots across field and down that tape. So if they do get in the 50 snake, you can put some pressure on them from a stand up. And that's how you're going to pretty much play that snake side. Alright guys, last little tip here for the snake side on how to break this snake side down. This is a cool little play. I did it a few times in the tournaments, and it worked successfully. I got 5 packs every time. Completely put the sideline in awe how I destroyed the entire team. And I didn't even go into the snake, so I'm going to show you what we did here. There's only 3 requirements from your team and 1 requirement from their team. And you're going to get a 5 pack. Alright, first requirement for your team is to go to the snake corner. The snake corner, his whole job during this whole process is to battle his mirror and keep his mirror from wrapping around the outside and staying alive, and he has to stay alive to keep doing that job. Second requirement, send the guy up to the temple on the inside, or to the pillar. I prefer the temple just because it's safer, and he's going to shoot that snake lane and try and shoot that guy out of the snake, obviously. Now, if they don't send the guy on the snake and they go to the Aztec instead, he's going to just pound that Aztec and make sure he doesn't try and fill into the snake, shoot that gap. Now, the third requirement is to go to the Aztec. As you're going to the Aztec, shoot the snake lane. The requirement for their team, to die going to the snake. And that's it. As long as they die going to the snake or don't get into the snake, this is going to work. It doesn't matter what anything else on that field happens, it's going to work. Now, this is beneficial, but it's not a requirement if you can shoot that Aztec out too. Sometimes they'll send a snake off the break and to the corner off the break, so you want to shoot that snake guy and you just got the corner left. Sometimes they'll stack 3 to the snake side, 1 in the Aztec, 1 in the corner, 1 to the snake. If you shoot that guy in the snake, just be wary that that guy in the Aztec does have a possibility of shooting you. It's very low. He has to either make that gap and then get into the snake and realize you're doing your little move, or he has to get comfortable in that Aztec, look over the top, look around the sides, play real loose, and look for shots. Other than that, this is going to work, 90-95% of the time. This is a really effective play here. And like I said, the only requirement is they don't get into the snake. And it's just beneficial if they don't have that guy in the Aztec, but not a requirement. So here's what's going to happen. You got your guy in your corner, you got that guy in the tower in the middle, laning as well as pounding that Aztec and keeping them from filling the snake. And then you're going to be in the Aztec, or your teammate, whoever's doing this play. As you, on this different view here, you can wrap around this Aztec and get a good shot on the tower. Just like you get a shot on that pillar as before, but you get a shot on the tower instead, because he's going to be dedicated to the snake lane or to your corner guy, because he's in that corner. So he's either going to shoot, make sure your guy doesn't fill in from the corner, or he's going to shoot that snake lane. So his gun's not even going to be on you. You're going to come around the Aztec and blast him right in the hopper every time. Come up into, and if he's tucked in good or looking D side, we'll get him later. It's not a big deal. Come up into this pillar, the first pillar here, as you're shooting that temple or their pillar, if they got a guy back there. You're blocked out from the Aztec. The corner shouldn't have any shot on you because your corner's taking care of him down the wire, and chances are he's not going to wrap that far on the inside, even if he's shooting the inside of his bunker. Now you're going to come up into this second pillar here, and this second pillar you're going to have, as you're leaning up into it, you're going to have a shot on this bigger Dorito and the small Dorito. And then you're going to chop anyone up there that's there. As you come up into it, this tall cake's here to block you out from that tower. And then you still got the pillars blocking you out from this Aztec. So that's always beneficial. Alright, so as you come into this third pillar here, now you're getting that angle from the 50 snake. So you're going to kill that tower immediately if you haven't killed him already, because you can kill him again at that second pillar as you're running the X. And then you're going to have that shot on the cans. Wipe them clean. And if they're at the 50 Dorito or the other Dorito, you got a shot on them if you want. Now, another trick is like if they're in those 2 Doritos already, is this Aztec blocks you out. You can literally come up in right here, sit where this Aztec blocks either one of those out. The pillar's still blocking you out from this Aztec. Chances are that tower is not going to even see you, because he's probably not going to look inside. He's probably going to be the outside, and that's even if he's there. But you can just then shoot over the Aztec or around the Aztec, one of the sides, shoot that Dorito guy out if you so do wish. If not, as you come down further into the field, we're going to go back to this angle here. As you come down further into the field, the tower on their side starts to block them out. See how that works? That pillar and that tower block them out. So you can keep coming down into here. You're going to see a gun or a hopper somewhere if they're even looking remotely close to any possibility of shooting them or shooting you. But if they're not in those 2 Doritos, you just go, boom, go get that Aztec, go get that tower, or you can go get them anyways, And before those Dorito guys even realize you're there, just go get them and then finish out those Doritos. Most of the time this plays happening so quick though, they're not in those Doritos. So you just come down, do the dirty on the Aztec, and then just finish out that corner, and there's your 4 or 5 pack, depending on if you shot that snake guy out or not. But it works pretty much every time. Every time I've done a tournament, I've just destroyed teams. Everyone on the sideline always goes with awe, just amazed by how I just destroyed the team without going in the snake. Got a 5 pack, and they don't know what hit them. And I've done it, I think 3 or 4 times in one tournament, and each and every time it worked successfully. So yeah, give it a try, guys. High success rate. No one expects it. Easy way to get a 5 pack. Again, it's just like how that pillar is in that backfield I was talking about, where you can just sit back there and shoot all day. Take advantage of the layout. The layout gives you this nice, perfect play to run. And, do it. I mean, just take advantage of it, because you're not going to get that same opportunity on another layout. I guarantee it. But that's enough for the snake breakdown. Okay, guys, let's get on this Dorito side here. Sadly, not too many crazy things you can do on the Dorito side. Nothing like we just did on that snake side there, but we're going to break it down. Bunkers, you can go to on this D side off the break. You can obviously go to the pillar, the tower, the can, the corner, and that big Dorito. I don't really recommend going to the small Dorito. Personally, I just don't like small Doritos. I think it's not a useful bunker, especially to go there off the break, when you could just go to that bigger Dorito. I don't like it. It's the same. I feel like it's the same risk going to that big Dorito as it is that small Dorito. So why put yourself in a small Dorito? Because it's easy to get trapped in there. So I always kind of go against the small Doritos, unless it's like up the field more and you kind of have to use it. But I really don't use it. I just run by it. But whatever. Personal preference, I guess. If you want to go to the small Dorito, go to the small Dorito. I just don't advise it. I don't like them. Anyways. So what you can do on this D side here, nice little trick is, I kind of already mentioned it a little bit earlier, but going up to that tower in the middle, shooting that D side lane, hit the corner or the Dorito in the middle. You could even shoot that can if you really wanted to. It's a little more awkward, and timing's kind of awkward on it, so you have to be really good with, like, have great accuracy to hit that tower or that can from the tower. So I always just advise shooting for the corner or that Dorito, because you're gonna have a higher chance of hitting somebody then. And it's always good when you hit somebody on the break, right? So lane for one of those two, and you're gonna battle your mirror over that tall cake, and then dip out to the Dorito as quickly as you can. Make sure, obviously, you get dominance on your mirror if there is a mirror, and then dip out, because you want to get out of that way of the 50 snake possibly just destroying you. This Dorito still ain't that safe from the snake. I mean, he can kind of, if he knows how to play the snake, he can get a couple shots off on you on that Dorito. So you want to try and get out of that Dorito and go into the next big Dorito as soon as possible. And then once you get into this Dorito or the 50, you're relatively safe from the 50 snake. Unless you're looking inside or playing really sloppy in these Doritos, you shouldn't be getting shot at all. And this is where the two spots you want to get to, because it's going to prolong the match, because it's not going to be an easy sweep of the D side from the snake. So they're going to have to battle you a little bit, and you have a chance to how's it called, flip the odds against you, you know, or against them, or whatever. How, I don't know. I don't know. Flip the odds, okay? I'm going to flip the odds in your favor, and potentially win the point then, if you get to one of those two Doritos. Now, what's nice about these two Doritos is they got a pretty sick shot onto that 50 snake. If you're hitting that wing right where it curves, like curves down into the 50, into that cake, then you can get a bounce shot. Or you just shoot the cake, and how the cake's angled, if you're just pounding that and they're in that 50 snake and they're not, playing it right, you can get bounce shots in there and hit them right in the face, and it's going to break. So you're going to want to do that if you're in those Doritos and they get into the 50. Honestly, you're not going to sit there. You don't want to sit there all day shooting that and hoping you're going to get a bounce shot. It's more productive to actually work your bunker and try and get up the field more, and take people off the field rather than wasting paint as well as time to try and get a luck shot eventually, if he's even in a spot where you can shoot him. So you never know, he might be playing that little cake in the 50 snake and you're never going to shoot him then. So just try it, put your gun there, try the shot, but don't dedicate that hard to it. You want to go and start playing your tape, get up into the 50 Dorito, and then the 50 Dorito is going to be blocked out at that 50 from the 50 snake, and you just go to work on that Dorito side and try and win that side and try and get around the snake, around the back of it, and close games out that way. Otherwise, there's really not too much else on this D side. That's really the goal, just try and get down those two Doritos to protect yourself, keep a body on that side alive, and hope you can flip the odds. As for the pillar, I already explained the pillar. Shooting that snake lane, I guess you can have him shoot the D lane if you wanted him to. Thing is, then you don't know if someone went to the snake or not. You have to have really good communication with your team to realize if there's a snake guy, so you can get out of that pillar. As for the can D side, really good. You go there, you can run and gun, hit your lane as you're running and gunning, and then shoot your mirror, and you can go up into that Dorito and then over, or you can just go straight over if you're quick enough, and if you still have dominance on your guy and he ain't come back out yet, or if you shot him out, whichever. The corner on D side, and this is usually where the second guy goes, because the first guy is either going to go to the can or to the tower or then dip over. So your second guy is more than likely going to go to the can in the corner, and he's going to wrap that corner, and he's going to wrap real hard, because if they get that 50 snake, you got to be tucked in on that outside of that can so he doesn't hit you in the pack or something. And you're going to battle your wire if they got another person in their corner, and then you're just going to try and if they don't have a guy in that corner, then that's what's nice about putting your second guy in the corner, is because then he can wrap at the inside can and on that inside tower or that inside Dorito, and pretty much keep them from ever advancing past that inside Dorito. It's going to be real hard to get out of there. The inside can kind of can, you can duck down and get into that Dorito and kind of like evade the shot from the corner. But once he gets in that Dorito again, he's just stuck. He really has to battle his way out of that Dorito and get out wide. So that's what's kind of nice about that corner. It's kind of nice to put your second guy on the D side there, then have your first guy go to either one of those two or straight to that inside Dorito off the break. Usually you'll have your third guy in the tower, or your third or fifth, however you want to say it, but you'll have the two on the snake side, your two on the Dorito side, then your fifth guy is going to either be the pillar or the tower shooting snake side, trying to cut that off, or he's going to come into the Aztec after your two go into the snake in the snake corner. So if someone dies on that Dorito side, that Aztec, if your fifth guy's in that Aztec, he has to make that that call on if he should stay snake side or if he should go fill over to the Dorito side, because he can make that fill over to the tower, to the pillar, or to that Dorito side can pretty easily. It just depends on you know, what he decides. I always recommend though going to that tower if you fill over from the Aztec, because it's a little safer, it's closer, less area of room to get shot, and you can just fill straight to that Dorito from there pretty simply. And it's I feel like you live a little easier in that tower than you do in that can if they get in the 50 snake. But again, that's a read you gotta declare for yourself. If they're in that 50 snake already, chances are you lost your snake guy because he should have traded out already with that dude in the snake, or shot him out or whatever if he doesn't trade out. And then you should be going into the snake. So, and if not, if he got shot and he's still in that 50 snake, you gotta go to fill his spot if your corner guy doesn't yet. And if your corner guy fills that spot, then you gotta fill out to the corner to take his spot. So that's just kind of how you're gonna play that D side though. You're gonna have the two guys there. They're pretty much gonna be they're all tournament long trying to battle up to that 50 Dorito and just try to prolong the game. The only time you're really going to win is if from the D side is if you just wipe that whole D side clear so fast that you can shoot everyone on the snake side quicker than the snake side can shoot you out. But very unlikely. You're just prolonging the game, trying to flip the odds in your favor on that D side. Alright guys, so we've talked about lanes. I broke down the snake side. I broke down the boring Dorito side with really nothing to go for it. I guess we're on to the center. I love the center. But no, honestly guys, the center is amazing. Lots of stuff you can do from the center on this field. Not too many people are doing it. I'm hoping I can change that. Hopefully get more people to start playing the center of the field. I've already milked that pillar in the center. I've already explained the Aztec. So let's go up to the tower again. I explained to you guys the tower, shooting that snake side. I also explained shooting the D side, then dipping out. But there's also a nice little move here from the tower where you can just go straight up to the X. Imagine that. Like I didn't see too many people doing that. As I was watching games and as I was playing, it's surprising. The X is very strong on this, and we're gonna get more to the X here in a little bit. But easy, simple move. You got that pillar there in the center blocking you out from the snake, and the cakes there by the X. Obviously, they're usually there, the X boxes. But you can hide behind that X there for quite a decent amount of time on that, at least on the Dorito side, where the 50 snake really can't shoot you because he ain't got the angle yet on you. He has to go past the 50 snake to get that angle to shoot the D side X. So not a bad little move to go up there. You go up there to the D side X, and you pretty much you get a clear shot on that Dorito if he's there. And then the small Dorito is pretty much trapped. That's why I don't like the small Dorito. And you got a nice little shot on the can if he's playing loose and your guy in the 50 snake ain't shot him yet. And that the same goes with the other can on the inside, and from there you can just straight wrap on the X D side. And then another little move is you run from the tower around the pillar inside the Aztec up to their Aztec. Now this works if you shoot out their snake guy. If you run to the tower, you notice you shot their snake guy off the break. You notice no one went to that Aztec. Like that was, they only sent two guys snake side. They got two D side, and that fifth guy's in the pillar or your mirror at that tower on the inside. You go up to the X on the snake side. Pretty much just wrap around that snake side X going up into their Aztec, and you just blow them to bits. If not, you can always just go up to the X and just play the snake side X if you wanted to, but I like to get a little more frisky and touch the Aztec there and get my kills. But yeah, you can get there and wrap around the that Aztec and shoot people if you want. You can even dip in past that, go around the pillar, like I was explaining with the Aztec going down the snake side. How you can just keep going pillar to pillar to pillar. You just come back out to that pillar and just do that same thing going down it. If no one's in the snake and no one's in that Aztec, there's another way you can do that same move, but it's just coming from the tower instead of your Aztec. I mean, I still like the move better from the Aztec, but easily just as doable from the tower if you know how to play it. Which hopefully you do, since I just explained it, right? So that's how you can do that move again, just coming from that tower. Sadly, you know, I never got the opportunity to do it because I was strictly stuck to the snake side playing this layout. But hey, man, when I was walking the field, I saw it was there, and you know, it's just as feasible from that tower as it is from the Aztec. So, you know, give it a whirl. You know, make them, you know, do it one game play from the Aztec and then do another one from the tower. You know, mix it up. You know, have fun with it. You know, if the layout gives you that opportunity, take the opportunity. You know, you don't get that opportunity every layout because they're not all set up the same. So take the opportunity, and go get some crazy kills. Now, the same kind of goes with playing that Aztec up the center. Honestly, I don't see anyone ever freaking do it. Well, I don't know why. I saw Oliver Lane go up to this Aztec in the center, and that's the only person I can recall doing it. And he just kind of sat there and he just kind of shot inside over the X, kind of like at that tower. They had a guy in the snake during that point, and they had I mean, there's nothing else he could really do. He was in that first mini race in the snake, and he was stuck there. I mean, that's kind of that's just what happens when you go there straight off the break and you don't shoot that snake guy, and you just put the whole damper on that whole center move. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same thing, just going straight to that Aztec. It's a little more risky because you're further up the field and you can get stuck there if they do make the snake. But so I don't really recommend going there off the break, but you know, you can always make that a secondary bump. And what I did do one game is I went from the Aztec on snake side, made that secondary bump up to that Aztec in the center, and then just I did wrap around inside there rather than going around the outside of the pillars. But the game was pretty much closed out at that point. We had shot the whole snake side clear off the break, and I just made that secondary bomb because I didn't want to crawl because I'm lazy. So I don't know what it is, just crawling, just, oh man, it tires me out so much. But yeah, so I just went up to that Aztec to go to the X and just, you know, go bonker some kids. But you know, you can do it from that tower up in the center. Another thing up in the center is you can just go straight to the X. Did this a few times over in Florida playing the NCPA, and man, I got a 5-pack a couple times doing that, and you know, it's pretty much the same thing as going to that the Aztec on the snake side. I mean, it all kind of just works the same. You go up to X on the snake side. You're gonna have your guy going to you know, the Aztec where you would have went before, and you're just shooting that snake lane like if you were going to go to that tower or to the pillar, and you're just shooting that snake lane, and you're dedicating to the snake lane. Don't worry about the corners so much. Just shoot that guy out of the snake, because once he gets in the snake, it's kind of hard to shoot him from the X, unless he comes out into that mini race. Then he's kind of screwed himself, which I don't know why people play that, but whatever. Anyways, you just you shoot that snake guy, and then you can just make that secondary move coming down, around the snake, and you have this Aztec here, and you get a nice little shot right there on the tower, and then you get the inside move up to their next Aztec on the snake side, and most of the time he's not gonna have that angle looking around the bunker that way, so you can go right up to that Aztec even if he's there, as long as he doesn't pop the top or something and see you, which, you know, not too many people will pop the top just out of the blue when they're up bodies or whatnot. There's still people alive, so you're usually pretty good, and you just come in and clean up the rest of the field like, you know, as before. Nice little way, you know, you shoot that tower, the Dorito can, and then you shoot the Aztec in the corner if there's a corner. But, you know, usually when you're running up to the X, you can usually shoot that snake runner in the corner. You know, by yourself you can do that, just because it's, I mean, it just depends on how good you are at running and gunning and how well your timing and accuracy is. And but you can, you know, put another guy in his pillar, or even shooting that blind zone behind you as you're running up, and go to the Aztec and shoot it and just destroy that side and take out the rest from that snake side. Even if you get stuck with a guy in that corner and in that Aztec, and you don't, there's a guy in that tower, and, you know, they see you go up to the X and giving you a lot of heat, you can just tuck in. That Aztec kind of protects you quite a bit from their Aztec, so you can just pummel that snake, the snake corner all day, and just make sure he doesn't dive in, and just get your guys up the field up that snake. I mean, it's a good way to lock that snake down, because in order for him to dive in, he has to come around the inside, and you can just catch him. But it's pretty good. I like going up to that X. I feel people don't use it. It's underused on this layout especially. It's very strong. You get, you know, if you get that G off the break, you're guaranteed almost a win if you play it right. I mean, if you don't just go, and just, you know, get shot in the face. But it's easy to get a G when you're going up there. And yeah, even if you see him make the snake and you know you didn't shoot him, you can just run to the D side of the X. Just make that adjustment. If you're like, man, I know I missed that guy, there's no way I shot him, like say your gun jammed or something, just go straight to that D side X and just lock down that side. You know, if they make it to that Dorito, he's probably not expecting you, and just shoot him in the face. And then when you get to that D side X, you gotta, you know, check your feet, make sure there's no shot underneath the X at you on your feet, so don't let your feet sticking out. But just check off bunkers on that D side. You know, don't just go up to the D side and try and shoot that inside can. Check off the Dorito, like those upward 50 Dorito. Check off the next Dorito, the next Doritos, the corner, then the inside can. And then, you know, you got to do all those check offs, otherwise you're just going to get blasted, because you weren't running up that way and you weren't looking D side, so you don't know where they're at. You probably can't hear your teammate when while you're up there. So you just got to check them off yourself, and that's your responsibility, no one else's. Check those bunkers off, stay alive, contribute to your team, and then say they strike the 50 snake or something, or strike the snake, and then, you know, take advantage of that. But you got to keep checking them off, and then, you know, do work from there. You can, after you go that D side X, you can just run up straight to their tower on the Dorito side, shooting cross field at the snake side. Shoot their Aztec out in their corner. What's nice is you get that cake there, and you got the pillar to block yourself out if need be. If you get caught in the open and you're like, oh man, I missed my shot while I was running, just stop in front of that, or behind that pillar in the open, so the tower blocks you out and the pillar blocks you out. And you can just sit there while you try and make it, you know, try and get that shot. But if anything, if you get caught in that situation, it's better just to at least trade out with that guy than just let him shoot you, or someone on that D side shoot you. You know, try and trade out with someone on that snake side. I'd say trade out with someone on that snake side before you trade out with someone on that D side, that snake side is a little more deadly. So there's my thought on the center, utilizing those those powerful moves up that inside snake, and as well as that good strong move up the so their D side tower. Hopefully after the full analysis on this layout here, you have an idea for your breakouts. If not, don't worry, I'm going to do 2 breakouts for you guys to do. Not going to try and utilize that play so much because I pretty much explained it. It was those 3 requirements: the inside tower, the Aztec, and the corner. And then pretty much it doesn't even matter what else happens on that field as long as you get that G on the snake. So put the other 2 players wherever you want. I would probably say put the tower and that pillar and just try and get that snake out. Have another lane dedicated to it, and then have him bump out to the can or something, and then just have a guy go out to that corner on the D side. But, well, I guess I'll give you 3 breakouts, right? Since I just gave you one. So, there's the one. The first one's going to be the snake corner, the Aztec, the inside tower, the pillar, and then the D side can on the in the corner. And then what you're going to do is the snake corner is going to shoot that outside. The Aztec's going to shoot the snake lane and then make that move. The tower is going to shoot the snake lane, and so is the pillar. He's going to shoot that snake lane. And you're going to make that move if you get that G. If you don't get the G, just play straight up and go into the snake. If they don't go into the snake, it's up to your decision. Play that move or go into the snake. Whatever you're more comfortable with, this breakout works either way. It's a great way just to fill in. You still got that guy in the tower. He's pounding that snake side. If they're not in that snake yet, have him hold that lane off. The the pillar, he's just going to bump out to that can. There's no guy in the snake, no threat. He's just going to bump to the can and try and get into the Dorito in front of the can, or after the can. And the guy in the Dorito corner, he's just going to wrap and keep their D side from moving up, and letting the guy know that came from the pillar what's on the D side, because he hasn't even looked at that D side yet. So it's going to be of use to him to know what's going on over there. Strong communication, guys. That's all this requires. And it's a solid breakout. I'm pretty sure you're going to win it if you do that play or not, and you just go in the snake. If they're not in that snake, you're good to go. If they're in a snake, go kill that guy and get the kills yourself. If need be, the guy from the tower can always come back to that Aztec, like I said earlier in the video, guys. But that's one breakout. Okay, guys, for breakout number 2, we're going to run that next play. It's going to go one guy straight up to snake side X. On his way up, he's going to run and gun, shoot over those pillars and over the Aztec, and hit that snake lane. As he gets up into the X, he's going to see if he shot the snake guy. If he did, then he's going to work on trying to wrap around the X if the corner's not shooting at him. If the corner's shooting at him, then he has to focus on the corner and just don't let that corner get into the snake, and keep yourself tucked in and keep that hopper protected. Don't let the Aztec shoot your hopper or the corner shoot your hopper. Really tuck that hopper in. Now, if the corner's not shooting you, you're going to wrap, see who's, if anyone notices you're at the X yet. If no one notices, go to that secondary move up to the Aztec and take out the rest of the team. And if not, then just try and, earn some kills up there at the snake side X. And then your other player, he's going to go to the snake side corner. He's going to run and gun there off the break. And he's going to shoot back up at the center, see if anyone's ghosting in the middle. And then as he's coming past the Aztec, going into the corner, he's going to start shooting at the tower that's on the inside. Now, your third person, he's going to go straight in the snake, which is why we had the corner shooting up the inside. He's going to go straight in the snake now that he's protected from the corner shooting him his way in. And he's going to go straight to the 50. Don't stop at any of the mini races. Stay close to that inside mini race, then go right up to the beam and crawl as low as possible. It doesn't have to be the fastest thing in the world. Just stay super low. Make sure you get in there safe. Make sure you get to the 50 and just do your job. And as you're going in, obviously look to see if another snake's going in there with you or not, and if there's someone going to the corner. Your fourth person is going to go to the Aztec on snake side. He's going to either float in the center and shoot that lane, or he's going to just go straight to the Aztec running gun and shoot that lane while he's on the move. Whichever is more comfortable for him. Neither one's better than the other. It's just on his playing ability and what he can do. So, but he's going to go to that Aztec. Your fifth guy is going to go out to the Dorito corner. Now he has two options. Preferably just go to the Dorito corner, especially if you're just playing D5. Just go to the Dorito corner. And then shoot the tape and then try and wrap, and don't let them advance up the Dorito side. Now as you run and gun to that Dorito corner, you're going to shoot at your mirror, but also at that inside can. And you want to kind of, just put pressure on him, see if you can get a shot to land in on that guy or onto your mirror. And as well as look to see if anyone goes to that inside tower. If anyone goes to the inside tower, you have to go to the inside and start shooting at that inside tower and make sure he doesn't come bunker the X out. Now, if he goes to that tower, you got to let your guys know on Snake's side that someone went to that tower, that it's hot, and either the guy on the Aztec or the corner has to make up his mind, preferably the Aztec. He's going to have to switch his gun from Snake side and switch it to the Dorito side and make sure no one comes up that Dorito side past the that insert Dorito, like that's in the middle of the field there. He can't let anyone go beyond that. That's going to be his job. And that corner snake player is going to just keep watching that tape and fill the snake if your snake guy gets shut off the break. And he should obviously let the Aztec know if he has to fill the snake or not. But he's going to go to that D corner and shoot inside to protect his X guy. If they don't go to the tower, just stay wrapping and try and shoot the two cans. And at the Dorito, if they go into the Dorito at all. As for the other option is he could have went to the inside Dorito or the inside can, and then made the bump up to the D3 or D2, whatever you guys wanted to call that. But that second big Dorito, he would make that fill up into there. If he has to go to the closest Dorito first and then make that bump over, he can do that. But if he's going to go to this inside can, he has to make those bumps pretty quick, and he has to be pretty efficient playing that D side by himself without getting shot. Otherwise, the safe bet's just this just go straight to the that insert the inside can and then make the bump out to the corner, or just straight to the corner off the break. Don't mess with that inside can and getting stuck in there. Just go to the corner and just try and play the outside of it so you don't get shot from the 50 snake. But so that's going to be breakout number 2, and focusing on that X and just pushing that snake really hard, and then eventually the X is going to have to make a move, try to get some bodies taken out if the game goes on a little long, and then that way, especially if you lose both these guys out of the snake and he's still in the X for some reason and hasn't died yet, he's going to have to make a move because this Aztec can't watch D side anymore because he has to get into the snake, and the corner can't watch over the X guy and just leave the whole D side vulnerable. So he's going to have to watch the wire. And that's how that's going to break down if things start to go wrong. But shouldn't go wrong. Hopefully the first guy or the second guy getting in the snake can handle it. And hopefully you can chop up some of them bodies on the snake side so they can't keep filling the snake as you go up to the X. And if he's still alive, he's doing his job right. But so that's Breakout 2. Let's get into Breakout 3. Okay guys, for this third breakout, since those last two breakouts were kind of a little more complicated, you actually have to have some decent team communication and know how to hit a lane plus running gun as well. So we're going to kind of do a more D5 level breakout, just a more standard breakout. Obviously still going to work perfectly fine in D4 or D3. You're just going to execute it even better. And it's this breakout's still good. We're going to put 2 on that D side and 3 on the snake side. First one, snake's going off the break. And one's going to go to the snake corner. The other is going to go to the snake Aztec. And then your fourth guy is going to shoot out to the Dorito corner. And your fifth guy has 2 options. He can either go to the inside can and then make his bump up to that Dorito, or he can go to the tower and then make his bump across to that Dorito. It's up to him on whatever he feels more comfortable doing. Both are just as good. It all just depends on what you feel more comfortable doing. I would recommend the Dorito side can, just because it seems it's a little easier to crouch down and just kind of get into it. Well, I disagree. I think that the tower is a little easier because you get a better field of view. Because if someone else is in that other tower, you cannot, if you don't know how to check bunkers off too well, you could just run into his paint and not even realize it. So I'm going to say go to that tower. Yeah, go to the tower, but be cautious of that 50 snake getting there and shooting you in the pack. So play it really tight. As soon as you get in that tower, don't even take for a split second. You can't play that bunker tight. Play it extremely tight. And if you hear someone yelling snake, play it even tighter. Suck up into the bunker. You know, you pretty much got to molest that bunker to stay alive. And stay on that back left corner of it. And I mean, you just got to press up against it. And then as soon as you get an opportunity, go to that into those Doritos and go up the Doritos and play just as tight in those. And yeah, just work with your guy in the corner. You're gonna have to yell to each other and get good communication over there. And the snake side, well, I guess I'll do the lanes for the D side for this breakout. The D corner, he's gonna run and gun to the corner, and he's gonna shoot for their corner. And then like the 2 cans like in between them, and then you're gonna have the guy going to the tower. He's gonna shoot for the either the Dorito right there at the insert, and then if he sees no one going there, he's going to shoot the corner. Now when you come out to this tower to shoot that lane, you want to come out to the left here some, almost up against that pillar, and then come up into the tower so you can get that angle to see if he's going into that Dorito or not. And as soon as you get over and you see that there's no one going to that Dorito, you got to shoot for that corner. The snake lane, the guy going to the Aztec, he can choose if he wants to sit here in the open and shoot his lane to the snake over the pillars and then go into the Aztec, or he can run and gun to it and do it. So, you know, whatever he feels more comfortable doing. And then the guy going to the snake corner, he's going to run and gun, shooting up at the middle, seeing if there's a guy ghosting or not, and then hitting that tower as he's going into his corner. And then the guy's just going to go straight to the snake off the break. Don't go to any of those mini races. Go straight to the 50. And like I said, stay close to that inside mini race and hug the beam. as you're going up to that 50 to stay safe. And that's pretty much it for the breakout. Just fill that snake and push to the Doritos. It's going to be a pretty good breakout there for D5 and anyone in D4 or D3 that wants to run it. So that's going to conclude the field analysis and the breakouts. I gave you guys 3 solid breakouts, and there's at least 5 more breakouts I partially gave you throughout the field analysis. Let me know if you or your team runs any of those breakouts or that play I gave you guys. Let me know how it goes. If the field analysis helped you or your team, please leave a comment and let me know. Feel free to subscribe if you'd like to learn more from the Sports Academy. And if you'd like me to work directly with you or your team, please check out the website and email me any questions you may have. Last but not least, best of luck to those playing the minor league paintball event. I hope you guys have fun, and most importantly, I hope you guys win. Have a good day, guys.